Clements with NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune over at St. Michael High School with our girls tennis athlete of the year, Whitney Hamilton. Whitney, I just found out today you were a freshman. Didn't realize that. So let's kind of start with that. That's impressive to me that you can come in as a freshman and have the success you had this year. So I mean, going back to when you first came onto campus, last fall, did you expect to have this kind of year that you had and contribute this much, make varsity, all that kind of thing?
Well, I've grown up knowing Johnny, and I mean, he's always told me that I'm going to be the person who wins him his first state championship. Right. So, yeah, it was a lot of pressure, but I was hoping, I mean, for me, of course, I was hoping to win state, but accomplishing what I did, because I just played her the week before and lost pretty bad, and then to almost beat her was like a big change in just 1 week. And so I didn't expect that, but I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, so you were state runner-up. What did you learn from the first time you played her to the second time that you may have improved on that changed in that second time?
Well, after the first time, I mean, I was crying pretty bad because I really wanted to win. But and like that whole week, everybody would always, like, all my team would send me text messages like, "This week you're gonna beat her. Like, focus on beating her." And I had a tournament that wasn't school, and like I almost won it, and so I was like, "I'm gonna beat Carla," because that was who I played. And then that next week, I won that first set, and I remember after the first set, I started crying because I didn't think I was going to win the first set, and I was crying. I was like, "Oh my God, yeah!" And then I was like, "Oh, I won the first set," and it was a great difference. Like, I was really proud of myself.
Yeah. So how long have you known Johnny?
Ever since I think I was 7.
So a good while. I guess we go back and see, like, what he's taught you, and now you get to play for him at St. Michael. How much have you learned under him, and what do you think has been your biggest strides, especially, I guess, in particular on the high school level, which is you got as a freshman to where you are now?
What?
What do you think your biggest strides have been from learning under Johnny, and most in particular this past year just playing varsity in high school?
Well, I think because I'd already known Johnny, I knew Gary, he's also the assistant coach, and I've grown up playing the girls on the team who are now seniors or juniors, and so it made it a lot more comfortable transition into becoming on the team, so it was just more comfortable and stuff.
Yeah. And you have obviously 3 more years here since you're only a freshman. What kind of things do you look for? I mean, you mentioned the state championships. Obviously, that's kind
I'm
of
winning it next year.
You kind of call it? You call it right now? You win it?
Yep.
What kind of things do you think you need to improve on personally? Is it like techniques or anything like that you've kind of focused on that you think will get you there?
For 3 years, I've playing forehand and 2 forehands. I had a righty and a lefty. And recently, like last year, I transitioned back to a backhand.
Okay.
And so it's not completely strong, but it's getting there. And hopefully by next year, it'll be stronger and more effective.
And so you're hoping you can win your first one next year and then do a three-peat to finish off your high school career? All right.
Planning on it.
Well, a bright future for Whitney Hamilton at St. Michael, and I'm Mark Clements, NOLA.com, Times-Picayune.